Hello and welcome to Dee Dee Blooms. This video is going to focus on my Miltonia and Miltoniopsis orchids. I don't have too many. Most are smaller seedlings, so let's jump right on in. I'm going to start with the Miltonias. And this Miltonia is one of the very first ones that I got in my collection. And it was from a vendor selling at an orchid exhibition at our local San Diego botanical gardens. And this was last April in 2021. And this is the Miltonia spectablis var rosea. And it had some flower spikes when I purchased it. And I will post some pictures of what the flowers look like. They were wonderfully fragrant, and I want to say lasted at least a month. They seem to last pretty long. I grew this outside for quite a number of months, and then I sunburnt it. You can see some remnants of that. And now I just don't trust myself with that. I think this was a victim right here. And so I've been growing it inside for the winter time. It also, I think, got too cold. Another reason I brought it indoors. And I'm gonna see how it does. I have one flower spike developing already from a new growth. That's the spike right there. And so this is one of the new growths that's been growing for me since I got it. This is another one right here. I think there was 4 of them. I think I lost a couple though when it was outside. Actually, I think this might be one of the growths too. But it's put out other newer growths. One right here. One right here. So it seems pretty prolific. There's this, which might be a flower spike. I'm not 100% sure. This is probably just a new growth because the flower spikes tend to come out by the developing pseudobulb. So yeah, not sure. But I think it turns specimen size relatively quickly because of its prolific growth. I set it back. I repotted it when I got it. It was trying to get used to my environment. I kept changing its environment. I sunburnt it. It's been through a lot, let's just say. But otherwise, I've been enjoying it. The other purchase I made at that same event was from another vendor, and this is a Miltonia hybrid of some kind. And I really missed an opportunity to ask, what kind of hybrid is it? I have no other information. I'll post the blooms that it gave me. It had really young flower spikes, which I didn't even know were flower spikes when I got it last April. And it had several of them, and so in the pictures you'll see the gorgeous blooms that it gave me. So fragrant, just a really, really lovely fragrance. It has matured a new growth for me. It's lost a couple new growths, but now it's actually matured one, and I have this flower spike developing. On the opposite side of this bulb, the first flower spike had started coming up, and it got trapped way down in there, and I tried to help it up, and I think I just damaged it, and it browned up and died off. So I find this still a success for me because I've never grown these ever in my life, and here I am a year later, and I have a bloom spike that is setting buds and seems very, very promising. This one's been through a lot with me. I didn't repot it, although after this bloom I'm going to, because the media is starting to degrade. It looks like it's in bark media. Could be some moss inside, but I really don't know. It's been through a lot with me, trying to figure out its environment. Sorry, my husband's doing some yard work in the background, but hopefully it's not too noisy for the video. But got a thrip infestation. My Oncidiums got thrips, and this was near my Oncidiums, and they jumped on over and started having a field day. You can see some of the damage in there. But it's made it through. I've not totally killed it, and I'm pretty happy about that. My other Miltonia is from Andy's Orchids. I want to say I purchased this last fall, I think, September time frame. So I've had it at least seven months or so. This is kayasimae. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's from Brazil. It likes to stay moist. The temperature it likes is warm, so it's not temperature tolerant, so I keep it indoors year round, or I will be, and it likes shade. And it's in its original pot. It's pretty much in sphagnum moss, and I'm going to repot this one today because it has started to grow mold. So I must not be giving it enough airflow. The leaves have become spotted. It's not been thriving with me. So I've got some rot on this leaf. There's no new growth that I can see. I'm hoping when I unpot it, maybe I'll see what's happening with the roots. Again, I got these spots. Not sure what all the deal is, but hopefully I can get it to start kicking in and thriving with a repot. Next, I'm going to go into my Miltassias. I have two Miltassias. One is this one in the wooden basket, and there's a little background story to this one. When I purchased this through an Etsy dealer, I ordered a gram scriptum var citrinum hihi manu. And so I threw this in this basket with nice airy mixture. I had it outside for most of last year until wintertime came and the temperatures started dropping, and it bloomed. So before Christmas, I think it was, I'll post up some of the beautiful pictures. It bloomed, and that's when I realized this is not a grammatophyllum. This is not, especially not a citrinum, because citrinum is this very pretty light green colored flower. And you'll see from the pictures I'm putting up, doesn't look like that at all. So working with the Etsy vendor, we put our best guesstimate together, is that it turns out to be a Miltassia, however you pronounce it, dark star, known as Darth Vader. And it is absolutely stunning and gorgeous. I am not unhappy to have this. And a girlfriend of mine who also is into orchids has since got me a different grammatophyllum, a crown fox leopard, or leopard fox. So I have a grammatophyllum. It's a little seedling, but yeah, it's just kind of funny that I was raising it as a grammatophyllum. Although their care is fairly similar, there are some differences, but I got it to bloom, and it bloomed beautifully. So that's this one. And the other funny thing is the vendor said she's never sold this type. So she has no clue how this plant got into her grammatophyllum stock. The other Miltassia I have is from an Etsy dealer. I've had this one for a while. It's going to get repotted today. I'm going to repot all my seedlings today. This is Lavender Kiss. And looks like it's in a little moss bark mixture. It's been growing a few new growths since I got it. I want to say I've had it at least 7 months to maybe 8 months. And it's been a happy little seedling. Very nice. So I'm going to refresh the media, probably keep it in a very similar sized pot, and watch it keep growing. And now everything I'm going through on this side, the rest of it is Miltoniopsis. And these all are in my eastern facing window. And we'll start here. This is my Breathless Beauty. I got this as a as a discount purchase through an Etsy dealer. Had this burnt leaves. I didn't actually do that. And so it's not the most beautiful, even though it's called Breathless Beauty, but I'm hoping it will thrive. I'm going to repot, refresh the media. It's pretty old sphagnum moss. It's matured this growth for me since I got it. I've had these seedlings all around the same time, so at least 6 to 7, maybe even 8 months, some of them. I keep them nice and moist, fertilize regularly, at least a couple times a month. Sometimes I just put them on with my Phalaenopsis regimen. I fertilize every week and then I ratchet back because really they don't need as much food, or they don't like as much food as Phalaenopsis, so it just depends. I watch the growth. If they're growing a lot, I think the feed is good. The next one I have is also from an Etsy dealer. What's this one called? Golden Snow. Miltoniopsis Golden Snow. It's supposed to be a real pretty white flower with a golden throat to it. It's been doing pretty good. I've got, sorry for that squeak on the table. I've got this new growth right here that's come out to the side. It's just going that way. So when I repot this, hopefully I'll get it situated a lot better. So those are all getting repotted today. This one too, this is a more recent purchase. This is called Bert Field Crimson Glow. I want to say I've had this one maybe 4 months, 3-4 months. It's got a brand new growth down here. Been trying. It's not been doing too much over the couple months that I've noticed it. And now the mature growth, this leaf is starting to go. I don't know if it's the genetics of this one, but I'm not too happy about that. Hoping with the refreshed media, maybe it'll help it out. Next one I've had for about 5 months. This is the Banana Fandango Faded Memories. I also got this through Etsy. And just beautiful. It's just a single growth. I'm going to repot this today. It's still in its seedling plug. I don't know if you can see that. It's got some new roots it's working on, but we'll get this one all refreshed. And it's supposed to have a real multicolored flower. Really pretty roses and yellows, and yeah. Excited to see if I could get this one to bloom. This next one, or last one actually, is a Miltoniopsis I got from Nat's Orchids. It's the evas, Palsajes, Conocidos, and it's evas, Razones, Justas, crossed with roezlii, xantina. And this had, gosh, like 10 flower spikes when I received it. And almost all of them blasted. So it just did not like transport. It has settled in nicely though. It's been putting out a lot of nice new growths. Here's a little guy there. It bloomed a second time, or put out another flush shortly after I got it. So I did get to see some blooms, just not the show that I thought I was going to get when I first got it. Have these accordion leaves. They came that way. Hopefully I keep it watered well enough. So far all the new growths are doing okay. This is a newer maturing one. But I'm thinking I might get a good show in the coming months from this, because it's maturing at least 4 more advanced growths, and then it's got maybe 3 or 4 other smaller growths it's maturing. So anyway, that is my Miltoniopsis collection as it stands, and I have been enjoying them. I hope you've enjoyed this tour, and as they bloom, I will post bloom videos, and any changes or interesting things that happen with them, I'll let you know. Okay, so I unpotted the Miltonia kayasimae, and it has an extremely fine root system. I already repotted the 3 seedling Miltoniopsis and Miltassia. and the white holder. That's all done, and their roots were fine too, but this is like super fine. So probably the majority of these are dead. I'm gonna keep a section of them for stability, but probably cut some of them off. But otherwise, I don't think it's too bad looking in the pot. I'm not sure why this isn't doing so well. So I'm going to repot it up in a moss fine bark mix. It was all in moss, which started molding. So maybe the bark mix will give it some better aeration, and hopefully this will start thriving. Okay, so I've got all of the Miltoniopsis and the Miltonia that I was planning on repotting. So each one is in a fresh sphagnum, moss, and bark and perlite mix. It's a fine bark mix, and sprinkle a few pellets of slow release fertilizer in each one of them. And tomorrow morning, it's later in the day now, tomorrow morning I will put some mycorrhizal fungi over the top and water that through each of them. So this little one here, I repotted in its same pot. There wasn't very many good roots. This one seems to be struggling. This leaf is about to give up, and I just have this one little growth right here. And this is the Bert Crimson Glow Miltoniopsis. The Miltoniopsis Banana Fandango Faded Memories has been upgraded to a larger pot. It was in a very small net pot. Gosh, I think it seemed like it was only like 1.5 inches wide. So this is a 3-inch pot. Had a pretty good root system. I showed you a little earlier the kayasimae and the root system, and so this one is repotted in a little 3-inch transparent pot, and hopefully it's going to start doing better and I'll get a new growth. I've got the Miltassia or Miltassia Lavender Kiss. This is, I think, a 3.5-inch pot. And then this one is the Miltoniopsis Golden Snow. This one has a kind of a weird growth going this way. I'm going to let it settle in. I got some of the roots down into the media, but I think I want to stake it and try to get it to grow more upright. So that's kind of phase 2 for that one. And finally, Miltoniopsis Breathless Beauty. It's all set. So yeah, got that all done. This is actually the next day. I ran out of time yesterday evening to get these repotted. But I'm so relieved I got it done for the spring, and hoping to see these flourish. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video content, seeing kind of the stages I go through with my collection, please do a thumbs up. It helps me know the content that you like. And otherwise, I wish you a very happy day.